Growing up in a small agricultural town, I learned early on of the importance of using proper personal protective equipment, or PPE. My father made me wear things like safety glasses and gloves when we mowed yards during the summer. In junior high and high school, I took a lot of shop classes, and each year began the same. We watched video after video of injuries that resulted from not using PPE. Impalements, chemical burns, and severed limbs are just some of the images that are forever seared into my brain. PPE is important for everyone, not just the person using the tools and equipment. Some of the common consequences of not using PPE are injury, death, and even illness from long-term side effects due to the exposure to harmful substances. Now first I'd like to look at avoiding injury. In 2012, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, otherwise known as OSHA, reported that there were 2.8 million non-fatal injuries in the United States alone. Over half of these were of more serious nature and required emergency medical attention. One of the most frequent injuries reported was injuries to the eye, attributing approximately 2,000 incidents a day in the United States. The causes range from the introduction of foreign objects into the eye to chemical and thermal burns. My friend's father, whenever I was younger, was splitting wood one day and was not wearing safety glasses, and he got a piece of metal chipped off of the axe and went into his eye. He lost his eye, and to this day he has problems even driving. So it's something to consider whenever you're using any kind of tool or equipment. Other common injuries are to the hands and arms, often due to cuts and pinch points. Many things you can do to avoid this would be wearing gloves and long sleeves, which is a form of PPE. Remember, most often when someone gets injured, there was a point prior to the injury happening that the dangers were realized, but no precaution was taken to avoid it. So how about the deaths attributed to neglect of PPE? The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that in 2013, there were 4,405 deaths in the United States by workplace mishaps. Now that's down a staggering 66% since 1970 when this study began. And the employment rate has almost doubled since then. There were 574 deaths related to trips, slips, and falls, and 11% of those were less than 6 feet. Another 484 deaths were attributed to someone being struck by a falling object, and 392 deaths were attributed to electrocution. Now looking at just those three of the four most common incidents, approximately 33% of all of these deaths could have been avoided using just a few pieces of personal protective equipment, such as fall arresters, hard hats, or shock-resistant clothing and tools. Even you personally can be an effective form of PPE because the tools rely on you to use them properly. In addition to injury and death, illnesses can result from the misuse of protective equipment. Many long-term side effects, like mesothelioma and arthritis, can be traced to improper handling of chemicals. In the United States, it's required by law to supply each chemical or substance with a material safety data sheet. These data sheets provide important information on the products to include recommended equipment when handling these products. These and many illnesses are directly related to not wearing masks, respirators, or even gloves. The CDC reported about 200,000 illnesses in 2012 alone from ingestion, inhalation, and skin contact with harmful substances. Now, despite every effort, we can never take the dangers out of the world, but we can help reduce the risk and avoid becoming part of these statistics. The use of personal protective equipment has been a key factor in the battle and can help save both life and limb. I urge all of you to do your part to make your work environment safe for everyone. Remember, the minute it takes to put on your PPE is worth the time to avoid a lifetime of disability.